Age 10 was me going through a lot of hormonal changes, a lot of emotions, dealing with my body changing. I was the youngest in my circle of friends who got their period, and I actually didn't tell anyone until I was probably 14 or 15. I was opted out of sex ed, which also gave me the anxiety of having my period so young because I didn't know how to talk about it. There was nothing like Heart that existed at all.
Thinking about Heart turning 10, it's very surreal for me.
It's exciting and celebratory, and also at the same time a little bit unbelievable. Wow, we've done a lot, and wow, there's a lot more work to be done.
And we deliver sexual health education and sexual violence prevention programming in Muslim communities.
You know, what we do is actually in our acronym. So it's health education, advocacy, research, and training.
Our group of staff, trainers, volunteers, board members, participants is a diverse group of folks.
That really is amazing for us because we're able to reach all different kinds of communities because people see themselves reflected in our extended team. Over the years, we've been able to also further expand and develop our Scholars Advisory Board. We're able to work with all of these amazing women and deepen our understanding of the intersection of all of these movements with Islamic law and Islamic tradition.
I have great trust in Heart and in their leadership and staff. I personally don't know of any other organization that addresses the issues Heart addresses with the same kind of professionalism, accessibility, and a public health approach. They are people who have a deep love of God.
And I think it's important to bring in the sense of God consciousness and God-fearing because it really does show up in the work.
All of my team members who identify as Muslims and are working to do this work are inspired by the very stories of our Prophet and his companions.
At the most fundamental level, Heart is founded in showing compassion to others, and that is the most basic and foundational principle of living in community as Muslims.
We are a organization that does center folks who are oftentimes marginalized in our community, whether it's LGBTQ survivors or folks who have disabilities, women, children.
It is really important for this work to be inclusive so that we can ensure that we're not leaving anyone behind.
We are trying to help other Muslims realize that regardless of your sexual orientation, your gender identity, everyone deserves the same amount of information, the same type of information, safe spaces, access to resources, and access to information that can save lives. If we are leaving them out of the conversation, we're actually oppressing them intentionally, which completely goes against major tenets of the Islamic faith.
We're not making ourselves religious authorities to tell someone their lifestyle is or isn't wrong. We are saying that you have this lived experience and there's a spot for you here. And I think in that way we're faith inspired.
They also conduct training, and that's really important so that we can begin to break the stigma of talking about these issues in a community setting.
And unfortunately, we're seeing the consequences of Muslims not getting culturally sensitive and faith-based sexual health education. Sexuality is such a huge part of our lives as Muslims, and unfortunately, for a lot of reasons, sexuality has been erased. And we're trying to break through that and give people the language and tools to feel like they can talk about it and not think it's in conflict with being a Muslim either.
If I had Heart when I was 10, I feel like I would understand boundaries. I would know exactly what I needed to ask for. I choose to work with Heart because I wish something like this existed when I needed it.
In the next 10 years, we'd like to, continue doing what we're doing, but do it in a way that's bolder. We're only reaching a certain percentage of American Muslims, and we want to ultimately reach all of them.
We're realizing that we're doing a lot of work and we need more staff power.
I would like to see Heart have more publications and more research.
But I think we're doing some cutting edge work, so I would definitely like to see that be built out.
Another thing that I'm thinking about in the next 10 years is our work around policy and advocacy.
We're really interested in zooming out and looking at the systems that affect sexual health and getting involved in policy work, potentially at a local level, but also looking at state and federal level.
In order to meet our goals, we need our communities to challenge themselves to be open to this work. We need people to publicly champion our work in the communities that they are living in and working in and praying in.
But also to expand our community, expand our reach, deepen the work that we've already done in the last 10 years, it requires funding from our community. Where there is philanthropy happening, we need to be paid for this work.
At the end of the day, we know that there are positive impacts. We are here for the long haul. We're here to speak up. We're here to be loud. We're here to be bold. We're here to stay.